Hey yogis, I'm Nicole. Welcome back to My Yoga Time. Today's another short feel-good yoga snack and we'll be focusing a little more on our back bends. I do have one block for this practice. If you don't have a block, you can improvise with a really thick book as well. And if you haven't done so already and you enjoy the class, please do subscribe to the channel. It's the best way to support free yoga on YouTube. Let's get started. Coming down onto your back, we'll move into a supported bridge pose to begin with. It's a lovely, gentle way to lengthen and warm the spine, so stimulating your digestion. So if you prefer, of course, you can have the block on the flat side. Otherwise, only if it feels okay for your back, take the block to the second height. And we'll keep the knees bent for now. And just a few breaths with those palms facing the ceiling. Option to connect index finger and thumbs for chin mudra. We can close the eyes down here. And gently place the tip of your tongue where the teeth meet the roof of the mouth. You should feel space between the top and bottom teeth. The jaw is relaxed. Invite a gentle tone through the back of your throat. Ujjayi breath. Begin to observe the navel rise and fall with the ebb and flow of your breath. And let the breath moving the body be your point of focus, your point of concentration for this class. At the very top of the inhalation, be sure to pause, hold the breath just for a moment or two before exhaling slowly. And inviting a little movement now with the breath. As you inhale, let's float the arms above the head. Holding there as you pause, and then simply exhale to float the arms back down. And when we move mindfully with the breath, it becomes a moving meditation. Last round, inhale those arms above the head. And then as you exhale, just stop with those hands above the shoulders, palms facing one another, thumbs point to the head, pinky fingers towards the feet. From here, bring the outside edges of your shoulders down towards the mat. And then from here, pick up your hips and your heels. And see if you can lift the very tips of your toes too. So it's just the balls of your feet that you're balancing on. And a little squeeze through the buttocks. Maintaining downward pressure through the head, the shoulders, the balls of the feet. Keep the jaw relaxed. Well done. Float those arms down, remove the block. Keep the heels high as you lower down one vertebrae at a time. Touching down to the mat, cupping the hands over the knees, arms as straight as you inhale. Bend the elbows as you exhale. Take longer here if you need to, otherwise we'll find our way to seated. You can cross at the ankles, hold onto the big toes and rock and roll. Coming all the way up. Well done. Over onto all fours. And begin to make a circular motion through the hips. Just feeling into the lower back. There's really no right or wrong way to do this. Just observing if there's any part of your body that needs a little more attention today. And when you're ready, take a few breaths in our puppy pose, either keeping those arms straight or hands to prayer above the head. And on your next inhalation, lifting up out of the pose. If the knees permit, sit back onto the feet. Take those hands behind you and then we'll lift the knees up off the mat. So just bringing a nice stretch into the front of the feet, tops of the feet. Squeeze the heels of the palms in. Draw the shoulder blades back. And release. Return to tabletop. Hands under shoulders, knees under hips, curling toes under. Inhaling now into your back bend, and as you exhale, rounding out the spine. So next time you exhale and round the spine, lift those hips up into your downward facing dog. Maintain this pose as you inhale, and then exhale, knees return to the mat. So we're going to do a few more rounds. Again, placing the movement with the breath. Keeping the tongue in position. And listening for the sound of your ujjayi breath. That soothing sound of the breath rolling over the back of the throat. The last downward facing dog, we'll hold it here, pressing gently into the pads of the fingers, squeezing the heels of the palms in. Gently sending your chest towards your thighs or your shoulders towards your feet. And let's step to the top of the mat. Inhale halfway up, bring a little back bend into your forward bend. Exhale to fold. And then let's reverse swan dive, coming all the way up. We're going to move through 2 rounds of Surya Namaskara A, Sun Salutation A. Follow the inhalation, arms coming up. Exhale to fold. Half lift, lifting heart and tailbone. Exhaling down, left leg back, left knee to the mat. Low lunge, inhale the arms up. Try and pull your left knee forward. Exhale, hands down. Step it back into your plank, always an option to bring these to the mat. Push the back of your heart up towards the ceiling, bring the body forward, and elbows brush the ribs as you come all the way down. Uncurl those toes, tuck the tailbone, inhale, bring the hands with you as you lift the heart, squeeze the elbows and shoulders back. And lower down. Return to those knees, rounding out the back in your plank pose before moving those hips back into your downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg up. Look forward, step through. Right knee lowers. Inhale. Exhale. Stepping right foot up to the left. Find your half lift. Forward fold. Reverse swan dive. One more, right leg. Stepping right leg back, try and squash the mat in between your feet. So try and squeeze the feet towards one another. Exhaling, hands down. Exhale to lower. Same cobra as before, picking up the hands, squeezing elbows and shoulders back. Lower down, return to your plank, your downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg up. Look forward, step through, left knee to the mat. Left leg up. Half lift. Forward fold. Reverse swan dive. Hands to the heart center. Let's lift up this left knee nice and high as you can. Try and point the toes up towards the ceiling. Then tilt the body forward as you reach the left leg back, warrior 3, toes pointing down. Lower left foot down, high lunge. Keep a little bend in your back knee. Press the feet away from one another here. Let's float the arms up. Right hand's going to take the left wrist, lift up and lean over. Look past your right hip. Pressing into both feet will help with your stability. Deepen the breath down the left side of the body. Coming back to center, spiraling that left heel down, warrior two. Make sure your right heel is intercepting the arch on your left foot. You want to open out the knee so you can see the big toe on the inside of the knee. So a little movement here as you inhale, bring the arms up, straighten the right leg. And as you exhale, lower hands down to shoulder height. Option to take a mudra. So we'll do 2 more. And then we'll settle down into this warrior two. So bring the shoulders down, eyes of the elbows will continue to face the ceiling. Release the mudra, flip the palms. Try and take your left arm back and your right knee opens out. Inhale. Exhale, right elbow to the knee. Sweep the left arm down and overhead. Hold this for the inhalation. And then exhale, warrior two. Inhale. Exhale, side angle pose. Option to take a mudra with your right hand. Holding here as you inhale. Exhale, warrior two. So 1 more and we'll hold it down this time. Inhale. Exhale. Sweep that left arm down and overhead. Option to stay here or pick up that right heel. Tuck your tailbone under. Breathe into the left side waist. Lower right heel down. Bring both hands down now. Frame the right foot. Left knee to the mat. Inhale the arms up. And we're going to twist to the right. So take your right hand to your lower back. And outside of the left arm to the outside of the right leg. Try and pull your left knee forward. Drag your right heel back. A little downward pressure through this right hand can feel quite nice there on the low back. Inhale, and exhale, return to the front. Lower hands down, let's step it back into your plank. Rounding out the back as always, and lower all the way down. So from here, we're going to cross the right leg over the left leg. So squeeze the thighs together, tuck the tailbone under, bring those arms next to the body. Inhale, float the chest and the legs up. So just a different variation of your locust pose. Shalabhasana. Keep squeezing thighs together. Exhale to lower down. Return to your plank. A moment here to press the back of the heart up towards the ceiling, pressing into the pads of the fingers. And downward facing dog. Let's step those feet to the top of your mat. Inhale, half lift. Exhale to fold. Reverse swan dive. The hands lower to the heart. Transition the weight into the left foot. Raise the right knee. So we're spending a lot of time lengthening those hip flexors. We need to balance that out with the strengthening as well. It's an easy muscle to overstretch. When you're ready, tilting forward, extend that right leg back, lift through the inner thigh, and try and tuck your tailbone under. High lunge. So in this high lunge, we're pressing the feet away from one another. Bend that back knee a little. Left hand takes the right wrist, lift up, lean over. Deepening your breath down the right side of the body. Coming back to center, warrior two. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands down. Holding your warrior two now, keeping the eyes of the elbows facing up. Release the mudra, flip the palms. Right arm comes back, left knee opens out. Inhale. Exhale, elbow to knee, sweep the right arm down and then overhead. Holding here as you inhale. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale here. Exhale, side angle pose. Inhale. Exhale. Holding it down now. Option to take a mudra through your left hand and pick up that left heel, tailbone scooping under, and deepening the breath in the right side of the body. Inhale. Exhale, both hands down, low lunge, right knee to the mat. So instead of pressing the feet away from one another here, it's the opposite. You want to squeeze them towards each other. Taking your twist. And let's release. Both hands down. Step it back into your plank. Lower all the way to the mat. And same variation of locust pose that we did earlier, this time crossing left leg over the right. Tailbone tucks under. Inhale to lift up. Exhale to lower down, hands under shoulders. Return to your plank. Treat this as a counter stretch, so we're shortening the front side of the body, lengthening the back side of the body. And downward facing dog. Stepping to the top of your mat. So while you're here, just reach for your block or your book, just in case you need it. Take it to the outside of your right foot on the flat side, and then when you're ready, reverse swan dive to come all the way up. So a few choices here, yogis. You can either take your chair pose, keep both feet on the ground, keep your hands in prayer, or come into your eagle pose, cross the right leg over the left leg. Block is there to help with your balance, or maybe you can wrap the foot around the calf. So make sure you're bending your right leg, the thighs are pressing in. Either hands can stay in prayer, or you can find the bind through the arms as well. So right arm over the left, squeezing forearms together. Around the back a little here, sit a little lower if you can. When you're ready, lifting up, bring this left knee with you and then reach back into a brief warrior three. Keep pressing forearms together and then lower that foot down, coming into a high lunge with eagle arms or hands to prayer, either one. Pressing into both feet. Inhale, curling back. Exhale, lower that left knee to the mat, release the hands. Arms out to the side. Roll the shoulders forward and down, then interlace the fingers, lifting the heart. Again, try and pull left knee forward, drag right heel back. You might choose to stay as you are, or if it's available, right hand to the knee, and we'll take a hold of that left foot. Option to stay as you are, or maybe float the right arm up. And let's release. Stepping back into your plank, a breath or two here, rounding out the back. And then option to come all the way down into the mat and lift up into your baby cobra, or lower down, hover an inch, then roll over the toes, upward facing dog. Make sure your knees are off the mat for up dog. Return to plank and downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg up. Look forward, left knee to the left wrist, pigeon pose. Reach that right leg behind you. So we'll take a brief rest, a bit of a counter stretch here in our pigeon pose. As always, if this isn't an option for you, lean off over to the left. Bend both legs so your right thigh, left shin are parallel to each other and the short side of the mat. Now if you've got both legs bent, you'll fold off a little more to the left. Or if you've got that back leg straight, you can come down into the center either with or without your block. Follow your next inhalation out of the pose. Returning to your downward facing dog. Feel free to walk out the legs, move the hips from side to side. And then when you're ready, take those feet to the top of the mat. We'll repeat that sequence on the other side. So if you know that you need your block, bring it over to the left side. Reverse swan dive to come all the way up. Same options as before, either find your chair pose, option 1. Option 2, crossing right leg over the left. Feel free to take that bind into the arms as well. Left on top of the right. Breathing into the back of the shoulders, the outer hips. Inhale to lift up. If you can, keep the hands in the bind, otherwise into prayer. Brief warrior 3. And then high lunge. Curling back from the middle part of the spine if you can. And then lower that right knee to the mat. Release the arms. Roll the shoulders forward and down. Then take the hands behind you, interlace the fingers. Either staying here or taking that quad stretch. And release. Stepping back into your plank, remember we're holding it here just for a few breaths. Tailbone tucking under. You might even like here to try and press the hands away from each other, but squeeze the feet towards one another. Well done. Chaturanga when you're ready, either baby cobra or upward facing dog. Rounding out the back, returning to downward facing dog. And inhale, right leg up, pigeon pose, right side. Otherwise, bring both knees to the mat, lean over to the right and bend both legs. Coming down when you're ready. Inhale to come up. Let's lean over to the right now and swing those legs around. Take a brief moment in Dandasana, your staff pose, so hands next to the hips, palms will press down and forward. Flex those feet. Drop the chin, move the neck back. Try and expand through the chest. Well done. Let's bend those knees now. Heels down, toes up, hands to prayer, and roll down onto your back. So bending those knees, bringing the feet as close to the bottom as you can, having those feet hip width apart. When you're ready, squeeze the heels in towards one another, then press the feet down and try and slide them away from your hips, lifting up one vertebrae at a time. Find your bridge pose. Option to keep the hands as they are, or you can interlace the fingers and gently tuck the shoulders under. So we're pressing down through the back of the head, the shoulders and the feet. Let's pick up the heels, release the hands, lower down one vertebrae at a time. Touching down here, feet wide, let the knees fall in to touch. If you need longer here with this counter stretch, please take it. Otherwise, feet a little closer, we'll come up into bridge pose once again. Lifting up one vertebrae at a time. Either find the same variations with the arms as you did last time, or if it's available for you, take the hands to the low back. So the heels of the palms and near the spine, fingertips wrapping around your waist. Option here to press into the right foot as you inhale, left leg up. You might like to point and flex a few times through the foot. Changing sides. And let's release. Picking up the heels, lower down one vertebrae at a time. Either taking feet wide and let the knees fall into touch, or if you prefer, hands to the knees, arms as straight as you inhale, bend the elbows as you exhale. You might like to continue with this motion, or if your hips and knees permit, coming into happy baby pose, take those legs a little wider, try and stack the ankles above the knees, the shins are vertical, reaching for the outside edges of your feet, and find a little push-pull here between the hands and the feet. You might like to hold it still, or gently massage the lower back by rocking side to side. And let's release. Crossing the right leg over the left leg, keep the feet lifted. Try and squeeze the thighs together and imprint your lower back into the mat. Option 1 is here. Option 2, lift the upper body off the mat. Keep breathing. And release. Hips move just a little to the left. We're going to twist. Sorry, hips move a little to the right. We're going to twist to the left. So use your block or your book underneath the knee for support. Arms out to the side. Always an option to find a mudra. And if it feels okay for your neck, move the back of the head to the left and then turn your head to the right. Deepening your breath in the lower belly, the lower back. When you're ready, inhale back to center. Squaring the hips, changing the cross of the legs. Again, stacking the knees above the hips, pressing down through your low back, either staying there or a little stronger, lifting up. Keep squeezing thighs together. And release. Hips move a little to the left. Knees come down to the right. Back of the head goes right, then turn to the left. Inhaling those legs back to center now. Squaring the hips and straightening the legs. And we'll take your block or your book to the back of your head and make sure the very edge of the block meets the edge or the base of your skull. Arms next to the body. Option to take your mudra. Let's inhale here. And as you exhale, very slowly let the head fall to the left. And you'll inhale back to center. Exhaling over to the right side. Feeling the back of the head roll against the block. And if you would like to take a little longer here, please do so. Otherwise, when you're ready, you can remove the block, coming into Shavasana. Shoulders tucking under, so the heart can expand. Softening the forehead, the tongue and jaw. Taking this time to just be. And I'll leave you here today, yogis. Namaste.